Bella di contemplazione. Ma come famo a entrare?
We're closed.
Ah, ma non me ne frega niente, io piglio tutto quello che è tuo. Tutto. Tutto. Allora, l'architetto era una creatura? Come possiamo esserlo noi? Voilà.
Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan.
Sei un'amica di Augustin de Vries, vero?
Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me.
Parlavo spesso della serie Le sentinelle contro il culto del corporativismo. È vero che l'ordine ha favorito l'invasione della zia, come afferma il protettorato, tutto molto interessante, ma devo trovarla prima che faccia qualcosa di drastico. Ah, questo non l'ho trovato.
Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. Yes, and I am ashamed to admit it. Though if she hadn't wanted me to, she wouldn't have told me the code. Same one she used for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries's identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty.
Che balle che non c'ho diario.
What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be.
Certo.
She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her.
È vero che non sta bene, ma non c'è alcuna speranza per lei. Ho intenzione di ucciderla, va bene. Quando la troverò prima di decidere sentirò cosa da dire in sua difesa.
I understand. Perhaps it actually is for the best. I truly cannot say.
Dov'è il diario di questa?
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Mostri i pass di accesso, fatti da parte, sono realizzato ad entrare. Me la cavo bene con gli automeccanici se c'è del lavoro da
Now
fare.
you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak.
Cosa intendi con fuga? O lo ziranio viene contenuto o diventa un pericolo
Definitely
mortale?
the second one. But it's like the Marshal says, in war, evacuation is not an option. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Vado, eh. Beh, allora speriamo che non ci siano oggetti da ciulare, perché sennò è finita. E fu così. Eccola. E fu così che ci ritrovammo nelle prigioni di sto posto.
Outsider, prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend
Sì.
it.
Speriamo non ci sia nessuno che vuole le nostre... i nostri stivalamendi.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon.
Se speri che io resti qui ad ascoltare i tuoi deliri, prima dovrai pagarmi. Calmati, di chi stai farneticando. Non mi manda nessuno, solo di passaggio.
Ah, good. A captive audience. Money well spent. You must have spied those nefarious crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army.
Per la miseria, potrebbe essere un serio motivo di allarme. Grazie amico, gli sgranchi mi piacciono, sono sgranchi un po' più grossi. Chiunque di noi potrebbe essere uno sgranco in incognito. Se invece fossero dei normali animali, fossi tu a essere pazzo.
You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble!
Ok. Ma ha sbloccato una missione o... Ma perché tutta... Tutte le volte mi sposta in un posto che non deve star. Sorpasse, io posso passare.
Outsider,
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Or no.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. Passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. That's what I always say. Why overcomplicate perfection? Now what'll it be? Aw, I really need someone else to test this thing. Tell you what, if you give it a go and have any trouble, I'll be happy to get you sorted. See you soon, I hope.
Prezzo di acquisto commerciale degli oggetti rubati più 100%. Tana? No. Oh, finché non mi rivede nessuno. Certo, se dopo mi perquisiscono ce l'ho un po' in quel luogo, però... Ah! Not bad. Chi è lei?
Outsider.
Che è diventato rosso?
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Sapete dov'è? Ah.
What brings you to this fine establishment? Stay true, outsider.
Outsider? Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of uranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zeranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from Zeranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard. Zeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy, but once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Zeranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zeranium crystals to explode.
Dov'è?
Not sure we should get any closer.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. First the attack, then the Zeranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense. Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
No, sono messi bene qua, Questo automaticare caricatore è guasto, non ci sono segni palesi di cosa poter aver danneggiato. Esamina il danno. Non sembrano essere importanti, stimi che possono aver utilizzato un oggetto metallico di peso uguale o superiore.
Oh, yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with ziranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable ziranium all over the place. I could speak at length about ziranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from ziranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Yes, quite right. And let me tell you, it was astoundingly difficult to dial in the resonance. Luckily, the difficult work is behind us. There are only a smattering of ancillary details still to be hashed out. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray ziranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a ziranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense ziranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of ziranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Uno scudo contro I miasmi. Ma dove devo andare? No, perché non è? Uè. Ah, questo.
Warning. Agent. Irreparable damage to lungs imminent. Exit gaseous cloud immediately.
Ma non mi ha mica dato l'oggetto? Che oggetto mi ha dato? via. Anzi, prima facciamo un salto dalla dottoressa.
Ah, run into trouble? No, don't answer. The indications are all too clear. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to this uranium?
Stavo procurando dello zirano e del figlio.
Another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
Posso vendere qualcosa? Permesso.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Catalytic amplifiers are a somewhat outdated technology, available only in older model Dragoons. Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to gild his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Oh, certainly. They're all in the building blocked by zeranium gas, which is why we're making the device. I trust you see how that's a problem. However, I do recall hearing this facility was originally assigned 2 Dragoons. I'm not sure what happened to the other one, though. It was gone by the time I arrived. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Benissimo. Dove sta? C'è modo per uscire di qua senza star lì a fare tutto il giro? Esatto. Quindi gli posso sparare? Hai raccolto? No. Un secondo automercano di Velenose scomparso dal centro di riparazione automercale si è diretto a qualche parte lungo la costa. Si è considerato di parlare con il capo meccanico. E dov'è il capo meccanico Wuju?
Stay true, outsider. Outsider?
Welcome. Glad to have you back.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Beh. Ah, quello là in fondo? Buono!
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Ah, qua.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of uranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. I'd say it's guaranteed. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right.
Adios.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
Ah, ok. L'apparato di vibrazione gassosa energetica è un defibrillatori che ti fornisce uno scudo temporaneo. L'attivazione risoluttiva applica lo scudo che si consuma in caso di danni subiti di permanenza nell'ambiente nocivo. Dopo un certo periodo, in caso di eccessivi danni subiti, lo scudo si attiva automaticamente. Se viene riattivato mentre è ancora attivo, ciò durata la quantità di scudo rimanente vengono ripristinate. Con chi devo parlare? Dove cazzo è? È fatta, ma fattissima proprio. Mi sa che dovevo attivarlo. Come cazzo? Ah, con LB. Giustamente. Soprattutto dov'è il commissario Donelson? Buongiorno, buongiorno. Ok. Punti abilità? Buono. Ah, ok, vabbè. E a che minchia devo parlare? Ora che possiedi un dispositivo, scusa, dedicati al maresciallo Donelson al centro riparazione automeccanici. Autodoc, banco da lavoro, distributore, banco da lavoro. Nido dei Raptidon, stazione Vox, ponte, mistero dell'accuratezza, dolce alto campo del sovrano umano, tricche ballacche, grotta misteriosa. Comunque buongiorno a tutti. No, io... non c'è tipo... Ma chi è Donelson? Ma prima di tutto andiamo qua e attiviamo il coso. Bene. Che mo la vespa difettosa. Aia! Calma, calma!
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Qua credo che io possa prendere in prestito tutto quello che trovo, diciamo. Credo tranquillamente che sia una roba così, ecco. Ah. Autodoc. Posto. Quello che dovevo fare l'ho fatto. Certo. No, l'altro dragone. Mi sa che non lo dovevo uccidere. Comunque. Diciamo che non doveva saltarmi addosso in quel modo. Permesso. Tutto mio. Cazzo. Che palle. Fanculo che non posso andare sopra. No, non c'ho manco vantaggio. Che palle. No. Però se le soluzioni della zia non vanno alla montagna, la montagna va dalle soluzioni della zia. Mica era così. Perché se avevamo trovato lo stesso modo per entrare. Buono. Buonissimo. C'è sempre la scorciatoia. La scorciatoia. godo. Fatto. Abbiamo salvato il destino del mondo? Stupido. Porca puttana. Ma io sono un pirla che ho disattivato l'armatura, eh? Giustamente loro belli tutti tranquilli, belli pettinati, puliti, saltano fuori dal nulla. Senza ovviamente subire danno. Porco! Boh.
Resuming hostilities.
Io parto dal presupposto che qua i tizi devono ancora tornare. Dopo se non si trovano più niente non è colpa mia. Cioè non è perché ho trafugato tutto. No, io vabbè. No. Andiamo dopo. Mi sa che ci andiamo adesso, perfetto. Ah, tra l'altro mi ha curato anche il coso. Questa me la chiappeggio. Ma chiappeggio anche questo. A posto. Cazzo, come faccio a entrare lì? Ah, credo che questo sia per aprire quella porta qua.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up. Outsider?
Dottore, dottore!
Ah, you're back. And you've been cavorting with Zeranium again. by the looks of
Purtroppo.
things. Certainly, there is a nominal cost for treatment to cover essentials. All right then, hold perfectly still. There, all better. Was there anything else you needed?
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. I hope you brought me good news, outsider.
Ah, non l'ho ancora fatto? A posto. Voilà.
What can I do for you this time? At last, the tide is shifting. Today, we fix our automechanicals. Tomorrow, we push the unprincipled interlopers of Auntie's choice into the sea. You've done us a great service, stranger, and I would see your efforts rewarded. Alas, we don't have much to offer since our supplies are so low. I hope these bits will suffice. We confiscated them from the corpses of the scouts who attempted to infiltrate this facility a few weeks back. It carries the invaders' taint, but it should spend just the same. Perhaps you're right. Accept this with my gratitude. Now I can show our chief mechanist that he was wrong, and a little Zeranium poisoning won't do those automechs any harm.
You're leaving. Shift over!
Vabbè.
Commander's vital stats have reached an alarming low. Engaging emergency protocols.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal. Nobody around. I'm the one you need to worry about.
No!
Working order.
No! Non ricaricarmi, mi raccomando.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Un po' di pazze.
Engaging combat.
Ma perché è andato là in fondo?
Got a distraction for you.
Your lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
Emergency protocol circuit is primed.
Let's click.
Fortifying teammate vitals.
Knew you had my back.
Bella quell'arma qua. Soprattutto che posto è questo?
Place is in shambles. What happened here?
Ah boh. Importante che ci sia roba da prendere in prestito dopo. Come faccio ad andarli sopra? Ah, c'è la scala.
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well.
E chi tu minchia sei?
You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes.
Un'area designata in cui i campioni per i test possono essere fatti entrare e uscire dalla stanza di sicurezza.
Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmet Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor.
Mi vuoi come tuo nuovo assistente? Non mi sembra che i dipendenti qui sopravvivano a lungo. Hai un'area diversa. Da quando hai inviato quella richiesta d'aiuto?
Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes. Well, it's only my second time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit, I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me. As an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Assuming success, your fee will be based on the length of your involuntary impressment, dangers from exposure to undisclosed hazards, etc. It should be quite fair. Don't focus so much on monetary compensation. Think of the goodwill you'll earn with Auntie's choice. We have vision and we are going places, this project especially. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? We'll need 2 things. Fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds, a satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Trova il personale intrappolato nel laboratorio, scarica la vaffanculo. Il laboratorio che gridava a più non posso, recupera i campioni di spore. Ed ovviamente deve essere il più lontano possibile e senza modo di andare. Mi sembra più che giusto, mi sembra. Bello sto fucile però.
Sequencing attack strategies. Engaging hostile.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Windborne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Simple enough. A routine task for the audacious Advances field team. Right now, as we approach the Rap's nest, certainly the spirit of variety will offer... No! Okay, we need to run now!
Ready to assist with agent's health needs.
Over here! 3 hole in the head. I'm the one you need to worry about. Ready to take...
Foraging time's over. We should have what we need.
No?
Entering a
Adesso
conflict.
dobbiamo tornare indietro.
State.
Lo cambiamo. Armettina. Via! No, frega un cazzo.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
No.
most favorite, least homicidal subordinate. How's all our field work progressing? Absolutely gorgeous. Look at you. And to think I just forcibly coerced the first gormless dunderhead who walked by and found you. Lucky me. Now, first things first. Place the data cartridge in the drawer for me, right here, in the slot below my intercom. Haha. Allow me to give this a cursory eyeball and... perfect. I'm sure we have the correct neutralizing agent here in the lab. I'll nose out the exact compound within our chemical reserves in 2 shakes of a rat's tail. Always fortuitous to have ready access to a key chemical agent nearby. This might work out yet. Auntie may ignore our recent setbacks if I deliver an easy-to-market product. Just imagine the ad slogans. Air, now with extra fractiousness. Though, I suppose it only works on other Auntie's Choice employees, not our preservative-free rivals. Oh, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now we must formulate an antidote. If we're able to save my remaining subordinates, they can help us rush this product to market. Normally, I'd say perfection can't be hurried, but... there. I have determined the ideal counteragent. Here you are. Place it and the spore samples into that synthesizer. Enable the device and it will begin a working antidote momentarily. Return with it directly as soon as it does, if you please. I cannot wait to put this entire sordid affair behind us. Though in the end, this should turn out to be quite a lucrative day. I saw you working the chemical synthesizer. I presume you were successful in creating an antidote?
Sì, ma temo che ti costerà di più.
Nice try. But you don't possess nearly the negotiating power you might suspect. Not when I can simply bide my time and wait for another gormless dunderhead to stumble by. Why, let that thick-headed boob amble off with your reward. Not budging? Oh, all right. I suppose I'd be willing to throw in a little extra as a merit bonus for your superlative performance. Wonderful, wonderful! Knew you seemed a bankably reliable sort. All right. I am activating the air filtration system. There. Should only take a few moments for the antidote to circulate. Everyone still alive should be right as rain shortly. Marvelous. You'll find your remuneration in the chest behind me. My supervisor will hear of your actions. Oh, and before I forget, I, Omid Ormsby, under the power granted me by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, hereby free you from impressed service to Auntie's Choice. Be seeing you.
Però. Bello!
The biological samples within the remains outside are no doubt deteriorating rapidly. I may have to recreate this experiment somewhere else.
Ma voglio cagnolozzo.